Hi, everybody. Um, we're here at lesson 8. I'm now figuring out a little better the audio in the computer and figuring out which way to face so that the lighting, you can actually see me. I'm not speaking in the dark. So little tweaks. I want to share. I thank you for the feedback that I've received on these videos. One of my team members pulled me aside at work today and said that she pretty much cried through all of them. And she had a really interesting question for me. And it was really about the agreements piece of this. And she spoke about how she has had several interactions where relationships have fallen apart, and she's felt like the trust is broken, and wondered whether or not, it's important to go back and repair those relationships. Now, there's two reasons why trust gets broken. Trust can be broken intentionally by someone who understands what our triggers are and doesn't care. But trust can also be broken inadvertently. That's the whole basis of this program, The Shift, is that most of the time when we step on each other's landmines or we send a little bomb, we have no idea what it's going to hit. And so part of the reason why the Shift program is so critical for us to begin to understand and practice in our relationships is that we are losing relationships without even really understanding why. And we go through life with this pattern of broken relationships, starting to feel like we're bad at this, like we can't have relationships, we can't be successful in a relationship, which is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. That's a belief based on not understanding the purpose of relationship. The purpose of relationship is to trigger each other with consciousness, and then be able to share the old woundings that have happened to us where we didn't maybe have the emotional maturity to work through them. Now, my team member's question was, can I do my piece of the process if I don't have someone who agrees to participate in the process with me? And I thought, wow, that is a really important piece to discuss, because yes, absolutely. There are two pieces to this: clearing my own landmine and building relationship with a person I'm in relationship with. But if the person you are in relationship with either won't give you agreement, or doesn't care, or isn't interested, or maybe did it on purpose and had full awareness of what they were doing and just isn't interested in being in a relationship with you, they've just given you permission to let go of that energetic drain. And in that process, you can still sit in what got triggered for you. So when that person triggered me, even though they're not willing to work with me in a dyad and actually build the relationship, how do I still clear my piece of it? And that is beautiful. And thank you for having the courage to come to me and ask about that today, because that's a critical piece of this process. Is, yes, what old emotion got triggered for me when we had that interaction? Because you're not always going to get closure with people in your life. I wish you could, but there are some people that don't understand the purpose of relationship and aren't interested in doing that yet. And maybe by you choosing to show up in your life like this, we begin to change the ripple of that tide. And I do believe that's why I've been asked to teach the shift, is that when we begin to behave like this in all of the relationships in our life, the ripple that goes out from you is enormous. And people start saying, well, how do I participate like that? How do I start to build trust instead of break trust with people? Because again, one of the most impactful sort of ahas I ever had in relationship course was in Rayanne Woodschatz's course, when she asked us how many of us were carrying around a bag of old hurts where people had hurt us. We put them in a bag and we carry them with us, and we're ready at any moment to tell you how we've been victimized. We all put up our hands. And then she said, and in your other hand, how many of you have a bag that you carry around of people you've hurt? None of us put our hands up. And she waited a few minutes, and then she says, wow, so let me just tell you that if you have a bag of people that you're carrying around, you're in someone else's bag. Ooh, that's a showstopper. Because most of us don't realize that we've injured someone else with what we've said or done. We had no malicious intent. Think about that in the context of your own relationships. The people who have wounded you most deeply likely have no idea that they've done it. A few will, and those are the ones you want to sweep out quickly. Get rid of the flotsam and jetsam. Clean those relationships out of your life. Nobody needs to suffer. However, give the other people the benefit of the doubt that they tripped over a landmine that they didn't know was there. Get agreement. Tell them you'd like to have a different experience with them.